Hello, my loves. How are you? I hope you had a beautiful, restful weekend. I know, again, the energies are ramping up as we continue to get intense X class solar flares. This week we have Halloween coming up and lots of shifts within the energies. So I just feel guided actually to open up and ask what's going to be beneficial supports for you for this week. So whatever you see on the title, that will be part of what came through. I actually got guided to pull out the True Love deck and just sort of bring in a loving message to get us going and to start our week. And let's see what we got. Oh, love it. Okay. So we have the Yin-yang card. And so it's bringing our attention to focusing on a lot of balance. Okay. So some of the things that's interesting that's been coming through with the yin-yang energy for me is where we talk sort of about the flame being that ignition and initiation, right? The sacred flames of transmutation and purification and transformation. And as the flames sort of burn away, clear out, unravel, and dissolve all of the information and energy that wasn't you or that was untrue. And well, it's a process, right? So we're still retrieving parts of our energy and essence as we're going through this process. But as we get through a big chunk of it, right, a lot of that subconscious energy that was suppressed, or at least we learn how to work with it. Then what happens is those chakras are clearing out and coming into a harmonious balance internally. And that's kind of what I've been picking up on or noticing is that the energies internally within our internal union energies, like within each chakra, they come into a harmonious balance of dark and light, feminine and masculine, um, receiving and giving energies. That's when we're really coming into harmonious balance internally, but also how we're, excuse me, sharing that out into the world. So, ooh, it makes sense to me that this is coming through as we are becoming more and more stable within our own essences. And it's bringing me to, I watched part of this podcast yesterday, and I don't really watch a ton of stuff really because I want to stay as pure as I can through my own channel. But I was very guided to watch some of this, and it was the man Greg Braden, and he was speaking, and as he was talking, it was kind of cool actually to get the confirmation in the sense that the things he was talking about is where our power is and how the light wins is to actually get into our own divinity, to remember who we are, to align in our own sovereignty, to embody into our physical vessels, into our cells, and claim the truth of who we are as human beings, as divine beings. And I was so happy to hear this, not because I necessarily needed to, in the sense like I know, like I told you, what I'm guided to do, to embody, to face the fears, to unravel out of the old control mechanisms internally and externally, and really move into my own lane and support others and feeling comfortable to do the same, embodying their truth. And so it just felt like a nice way to end the weekend. And then I had a conversation with a friend that I feel guided to talk to you about. Yeah. She has actually been wanting to create some things in her life and has kind of felt like she didn't know what else to do, that things weren't necessarily moving forward how she thought. And as I sat with her in the conversation, I had this sense that there was like this sort of wall in between her and what she wanted. And as we started talking and sort of thawing things out and opening up, as I just held space with her, it sort of unraveled and opened up that back when she started the process of getting the credentials and the things that she needed to move forward with her dream, she also experienced a whole bunch of sort of traumatic events. And what was happening is that the version of who she is now and connected with the version of when she started the process is very different. But there was a lot of frozen energy and information association left in her system from the past, even though she had done a lot of the work now to help herself unravel out of the trauma. But this part was still sort of frozen from the past. But once it opened up and it started to unravel, and she started to retrieve that part of her essence and share the results of who she is now back with that version of her, it actually brought that past vision, that past passion into the present without all of the trauma and frozen dissociated information in her system. And so I'm sharing this because this is a part of the embodiment. Yes, you are working day to day, but if you are still hitting some of those, say, walls or blind spots, this could be because there's parts of you that are needing to be retrieved. This is what I find with myself. It's what I do with the people I work with. And it's a big part of why I show up here, because this is really about you retrieving your own essence, thawing out the subconscious fields where you have been suppressed, where the ancestors were suppressed, where in the past, humanity was taught to be afraid of their intuitive powers or their capabilities, where they were taught to shy away from those energies, and even oftentimes taught to allow a third party or a middleman to be what's in charge of their connection to source. And as we're unraveling out of that and aligning with our own sovereignty and our own conscious creatorship to our highest source, and we're embodying into our own cells, into our own physical body, that is where a tremendous amount of power is. Okay. Your soul essence is your connection to source. Your divinity in action is coming into your physical body. Your physical body is a temple, it is a sacred vessel for the divine. Okay, my loves, we are all divine essences. We all come from source. And so reclaiming our sovereignty and our true energy and our true essence into our physical body, grounding, stabilizing, balancing, harmonizing, and asking for the truth is such a huge part of the overall purpose of what the collective energies are working on together. This is how we support the unraveling of the distortions and the misunderstandings and the dark versus light on earth, in the sense when we can accept all of it as present and then allow ourselves to move into the higher energies of embodiment, get into our own lane, and allow ourselves to vibrate in the energies of love and above, right? This doesn't mean we won't ever have fears come up or we won't ever have anger or any of those emotions come up. Of course we will. We're human, we're on this planet. But the key piece is when we can honor those emotions without projecting it onto others, right? Finding the way to come into that harmonious balance within, take the essence of whatever lesson is needed, and then start to embody the energy of the solutions that you're wanting to see on this planet. So if you are wanting harmony and peace on this planet, then you start to become that within. You want to see unity consciousness, then you start to become that within. You see what I mean? As we reclaim our sovereignty in our own true essence and energy, and we unravel out of the fears and the distortion and the smoke and the mirrors, then it allows us to get into those sovereign lanes and build our conscious unity communities. Do you get what I'm saying? Okay, love it. All right. This is so big. It was some of the things I was actually thinking about talking to you about, but I wasn't sure how it was gonna come about. So I hope that it's landing, resonating, and making sense for you. In in essence, to my understanding, all of us working together, our main purpose is to reclaim our own personal internal sovereignty in embodying our soul essence into all of those spaces that were frozen or dissociated or where we were told we weren't good enough or to be afraid of who we are or our own power. And as we reclaim that and embody into it, that is our purpose, being who we authentically are as much as possible. And I say that because each day we're discovering more and more of who we truly are. So it is this journey. It's a journey of understanding and embodying more deeply into our authenticity, right? Each time that you honor yourself and follow your intuition and trust yourself, you're embodying into your truth. Each time that you step away from the distortion or the misunderstanding and work on an internal solution, you're helping the overall essences come into alignment. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got with this yin yang energy. I mean, it's so relevant to those of you here, specifically embarking on your ascension journey through a loving initiation, through the dance of the divine feminine and divine masculine, and the higher energies and the earth energies. This is such a deep initiation into this energy of unity and sovereignty. Okay. And it really supports us when we are utilizing it and allowing it in our lives in a harmonious manner, right? Like it can obviously be intense through times, no doubt, but if you let it work, it will burn that away and allow the true you to shine through. So, all right. That flipped. So I want to look at it. Okay. So we have the Knight of Pentacles and the High Priestess. And I feel like, in line with what we're talking about, this is that opening, that embodiment to your own direct connection to source. This reminds me of like that pillar I talk about and work with and encourage people to move into, because as you create your own sovereign pillar, like it's always there, but when you strengthen it, when you focus on it, when you own your own lane, your own direct connection to source, your own direct connection to earth, you can start to get everyone else's voice out of your head so that you can hear your own, my loves. Okay. And then it allows your information to come through and allows those seeds to be planted. I love even here, it's like coming through the back of his heart. It's like expressing the expansion of the heart energy and allowing the combination of the essence of your soul in your human physical body to allow these gorgeous higher energies, codes, and creations to be grounded and planted and growing on our planet. Okay. And then these other cards that came out is the Five of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, and the Six of Cups. And this feels to me where there is some deeper processing and maturing happening. When it fell out and when this card came, I know it's for all of the collective. We're all maturing in our own way. We're all embodying in our own way. But this is actually speaking to me directly about the divine masculine collective and the process that they're in right now, which is this sort of realization of some of the parts of themselves that are missing, sort of like their own soul retrieval. Like, of course, they have access to all of that. They just have to open up and invite it in. And what I'm sensing is that the way the collectives are working in tandem and the way things are happening is that that time has come where the divine is stepping in and supporting the overarching energies with the planet and with many of us. And so it's allowing this maturing process to happen. The maturing of the new energies, the maturing of us as individual human beings. And I do feel like I want to get more with this masculine message. Do they? Yes. Okay. Yep. They're going to come through. Let's see what they want to share around this. I almost sense like a blind spot that they want to reveal. Let's see. Girl, the disowned self. So when I said there was like this place or pocket that they were not aware of, what's coming through is the shadows or the traumas or the hard, uncomfortable things that the masculines have experienced that they were taught to stuff and keep it moving are sort of being brought to the light. And within it, they're finding these aspects of themselves that they were missing. But there's also quite a bit of inflammation and discomfort within it. Okay. So, what I'm sensing and why this is coming through is that they're moving into that time of bringing in and like a form of soul retrieval. But what I'm seeing in my mind's eye is that as the feminine collective continues to work in her system and in understanding the shared space, that if anything is coming up, it's because it's being worked on in tandem. And if it's in front of you to do and it's happening, then it's yours to work with, right? For the most part, when it's coming through your connection, and then allowing yourself to drop in the results of the love, in the results of all of the things that you have been learning, not to do it for the masculine, but to support him in having the codes and the love so that he can sort of unlock and retrieve himself through his own process. Okay. And this is something that, yes, we can talk about within the connections, but it's, of course, something you can share out into the world with anyone that you're supporting, conversating with, exchanging with, or coming into contact with. It's simply this essence of sharing the information in the situations where the other people or person is receptive to receiving that and then letting it unfold, allowing them to receive the essence from via their higher self and their divine essence, and allowing their system physically, emotionally, and spiritually to use that information in whatever way is going to be most beneficial for them. You see what I mean? But it's coming through very deeply that there is a lot of soul retrieval essence in process. And I know that this is very shamanic in nature, but the more that I've worked with this, the more I see it as actually simply thawing out and retrieving the frozen or suppressed parts of your own subconscious. And as you're doing it in your body and your life and your emotions, and then you can also work with that on the different dimensions or different aspects or different lives, or even into the ancestral information where you were born into some already frozen and dissociated energy and information in your system. This is not to judge anyone in any way, shape, or form. This was what was available and present on this planet. But this is also exactly why we are here, my loves, to retrieve our own essence, to embody our own sacredness in as representatives, as expressions and extensions of the highest source. Okay, my loves, your essence, your embodiment, and how you express that onto the planet allows source to continue to grow. You are an expression of the source, almost like you and what you create and what you share is like the paintbrush and the canvas of source's expression. Okay, my loves. So as you express, as you learn, as you grow, as you embody more and more of who you are honoring the highest source. You are honoring creator by allowing that organic, spiritual, divine energy to move through you and out into this world, sharing it with the planet and with your brothers and sisters and with the animals and plants and all of humanity and however else you are guided. All right, my loves, you're doing beautiful. We have this mixture of very beautiful and balanced energy and clearly some intense energy. Okay. But this is part of that harmonization. This is the process that we are in. And I hope that you find some support and relief here as you move through these processes. And I want to thank you for your service to yourself, to the divine, and to the planet. All right, my loves. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will see you very, very soon. Much love. Take care.